Senate Bill 5355. Vice Chair Nance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 9 folks registering to testify. We'll head online for our first panel with Blair Daly and Kristen Lewis.
Committee members, hello. My name is Blair Daly, and I'm in Redmond. Section 2 of this bill talks about student ID cards, and it has one instance of the term gender-based violence, where it's referring to the types of organizations whose phone numbers should be on the ID cards. I request that the committee remove that term, gender-based violence, from the bill, and I'll give 3 reasons why. Number 1, if you delete the words gender-based violence, there are no organizations that would then become ineligible for being included on the ID cards. That tells us that the term is redundant. It adds nothing that's needed. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what gender-based violence in this instance is supposed to mean is intimate partner violence. If that's right, then the bill should just use that precise term instead, which leads to reason number 2. Not only are the words gender-based violence unnecessary here, they actually make the bill worse by incorporating a confusing term. The term isn't defined in the bill or anywhere in our state law. What is gender-based violence? People don't know what it is, and they're not to blame. Even the experts don't have a definition that is comprehensible for applying to the realities of Washington State in 2025. And there's disagreement on who can even be a victim of gender-based violence. Is it only women and girls? Men and boys too? Transgender people? If all of those, then exactly why the label gender-based violence? Now, reason number 3. At best, the term is confusing, and at worst, it's biased and discriminatory. Some people who want to institutionalize the concept of gender-based violence, they intend the concept to basically mean violence against women. Our state should be well beyond the days of being partial to some victims over other victims based on their genitalia or their gender identity. To summarize, if you delete the term gender-based violence from Section 2, you lose nothing in terms of the bill's effect, and you avoid adding language to state law that is at best confusing and at worst discriminatory. Thanks for listening.
Vice Chair Nance.
Yes, next up is Kristen Lewis, also online.
Thank you. I'm Kristen Lewis. I've worked extensively with male survivors, including survivors of sexual violence. First as a director of a national not-for-profit that serves men exiting abusive relationships, and now in my work in family law. While I applaud the efforts of all those who contributed to this bill, including the efforts to listen extensively to survivors, I need to encourage the committee to exclude the term gender-based violence from this bill. The bill can do its excellent work in promoting campus safety without it. The term gender-based violence is nowhere defined in this bill or anywhere else in Washington state law. Absent a clear definition, the meaning will be informed by the popular context. In the popular imagination, the term gender-based violence is inevitably linked by association to initiatives like those of the UN Human Rights Commission that focus on violence against women and occasionally against gender nonconforming folks to the exclusion of violence against men and boys. Imagine this scenario. A boy grows up suffering sexual abuse at the hands of his mother. He never speaks about it, for all the reasons so many survivors never speak. His experience, like the experience of so many men and boys, is not reflected in national statistics about sexual assault. This is because while it remains too difficult for female survivors to report abuse, it remains even more difficult for male survivors to speak. This boy enters college and one night is sexually assaulted. He looks at his ID card and sees the term gender-based violence and a number to call. He wonders, does this apply to me? Will the people at the other end of the line even believe me? For him, the words gender-based violence risk becoming a negation of his experience of victimization. Those words on the ID card could dissuade him from reaching out for help. They could leave a sexual assault on campus unreported because the victim was male. Is it really worth the risk of alienating male survivors for the sake of a term that is both undefined and redundant in this bill? I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Rep. Reed.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Just a question for the last testifier. I'm looking at the bill and I'm seeing that the phrase is sex-based and gender-based violence. So sex-based violence outside of a gender reference is included. Is that also your interpretation of that language?
Well, my interpretation is that the words are together, and neither of them are defined in the bill with any kind of satisfactory definition. So they're associated by being together. And my issue is with the term gender-based violence. The other term is neutral and refers to the criminal act itself, not to the gender. So it's far less likely to exclude male victims.
Follow-up?
Thanks. Question for staff. Are there definitions of sex-based violence or gender-based violence in underlying statutes? Because I believe this is an area of law that the state has spoken to quite extensively.
I did not find in my search a definition of sex-based violence, but I did find references to gender-based violence, also not defined.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions. Thank you for your testimony.